Welcome to this week's session with the Putnam County District Library, Guiding Ohio Online Grant. This week we are taking a look at Apple's Keynote program. This comes pre-installed on a Mac computer, and if you do happen to need to install, reinstall, or update, you would simply go to the App Store to do that for the Apple computer. Last week we looked at Pages. That is another version of an Apple product that comes pre-installed. Next week we're going to take a look at Numbers. So all three of these programs are and should already be on your device. So if we have your computer and you want to open that up, what you would simply do is you're going to go to the Go menu at the top here. I'm going to get rid of my preview at the moment, and I'm going to go to Go, and I'm going to go to Applications. When I go to Applications, Keynote's the one that kind of looks like it kind of looks like a what do I want to say? Like the stand that where you would be doing a presentation, which makes sense since that is what Keynote is. It's presentation software. I'm going to click on that, and when I do, it's going to open it up, and it's going to show me the screen where if I might have something saved, I could automatically open it up there. But I'm simply going to go to a new document. So I'm going to start something totally new here as we are looking at this. And what I've got then is I have my themes. First thing I want to make note of is on the right-hand side, you have, with your themes, you have this wide or you have standard. Standard is kind of like the old format, the old size that you would find projectors, TVs, and such. The current size that most devices are going to be and use would be this wide, what is 16 by 9. So for the most part, that's where it defaults to. That's what most people are going to use. Then what we've got here are the themes showing, and we can scroll down these, very similar to what you saw in Pages last week. But you can also go down the side here, and we can select them the same way, same concept. It's just a different look. You can go basic or dynamic, and notice it's the same terminology that we have here along the side. So for the sake of the presentation here today, I'm going to click on just the basic black presentation. When I click on this, what you're going to see is it's going to open up, and I will have on my far left-hand side here, this is where all of my different slides will show up. Now it opens up, and it only goes to what is typically your title slide, and that's what shows here in the center. And then on the far right-hand side, this is where the appearance and where you would make the changes for what you want to see and the appearance that you want to see of your slide. So when you're picking themes, you're basically looking, and you're getting a theme based upon the background color, the different colors that are used for your slide, and then you're getting different fonts. So I'm going to go, and I've got just my first slide. If I want to add a slide, I would go here up to the top, click on add a slide, and here's where I have all of my different options for the appearance and how things will look. So I'm just going to click on statement as one. I'm going to add another slide. I'm going to add one that has an actual, the one that has the title and a photo, and we'll pick on another one, and we'll just do one that is strictly 3 photos. So I've got 4 slides at this time that are visible. Now I do want to make note, it's if say I decided slide 4, I don't want that there. I want that to be right after slide 1. I simply click and I can drag to reposition my slides then. So now I would have 1, 2, 3, 4 going down in this format here. as I would go through. So now I want to go over here to the right-hand side, and let's take a look at how you can adjust and change what you see in the slide itself. So if I click here where my title is, notice what happens is over here on the right-hand side, everything changed in terms of my style. So if, let's say I want to click here on text, now all of a sudden I made that text box a bright orange color. Let's say I want to do this and I want to do a fill with a border, for example. I can add a border around it. Now notice my border is black, so I'm not going to see that, but I could change the color of my border, and let's make it so it's white. So now I have my background of black for what my theme of my slide is, and then I have a text that's got my gold color with a border around it that is white. So I have all of these different options for what and how I can change things. If I want to change my text, I'm simply going to click here where my text is located, and I'm going to go ahead and go right up here to my center option there. I'm going to click on text. Notice my text color. Again, it's going to be black, but I could change that. So if I say, oh, I want to make it blue. But notice what's going to happen here. I'm typing, it's kind of small, but again, I can go up here and I can change the size. Now, remember, if I've already got something typed, I want to change the size. If I simply go here to change it, nothing's going to happen at this point, because what it's going to change is anything I would type from now on. So I need to highlight this, and now I can go up here and I can increase my size. I can simply type here too. If I were to highlight this, I could say, you know what, I want it to be 100. I don't want to sit there and hold the arrow key all that time. I can change my font, so I can make it a different style font. I can change it and make it so that it's bold, italic, underlined, so forth. Anything and everything like you would normally change. Again, my spacing. If I have numerous lines, I can change. I can make it bullet points. I can do the drop cap like we've seen with other things. And then the last thing here on the side is my arrange. And this is something that you'll find and you'll see that you can change this when you want to send something to the back. If I were to let's go to the second slide here for a minute. I've got pictures here. So this is probably like the easiest way to demonstrate this, because when I click here on a picture, if I were to add text to this, so I'm going to go up here to the top, I'm going to say add text, and I'm going to click and add a text, my text, I missed it the first time. I got text right here. So I'm going to type here and I'm going to say example. Okay, I've got my text and it comes up automatically on top of my picture. That's a default, that's the way it works. But if I were to click on this and I were to say, you know what, backward, what's going to happen is now all of a sudden I don't see my text anymore because I sent it behind. Where if I move it forward, you'll find this a lot of times. People might have an image and then they put the text there, and they might have text on and then they want to add an image, and the image automatically goes in front. So you just simply need to move your picture to what it's called behind or in back, and then it will show. And then one of the last things I would like to show here that is on this right hand side is your slide number. You can add slide numbers as well. Notice I hit slide number, I've got a number 1. If I do slide number here, I'm adding a 2, 3, 4. So I have all of my slides numbered as well. And so finally, before we go into a lot more detail this week, because like I said, next month we are going to look into a little bit more detail of all of these products with pages, keynote, numbers, etc. What I would like for you to see is simply, I've got a presentation, it's done, I'm ready to present this. I would simply go to my play button, and when I have it is going to play. Now, what I did do here that would be not really a mistake, I guess, but I was on the 4th slide. So I need to go back up here to my top slide. Now I'm going to hit play. And when I hit play, it's going to show my slide, but I can simply use my arrow key or the space bar and go from one slide to the next. If I'm using my arrow keys to go, I can go back as well. So I can go forward, I can go back. This is simply coming up black because I never added anything to that slide. And when I get to the end, it's going to take me back to my setup here. But I'm going to go back one more time here to play, because if I'm in play and you know what, for some reason I'm in the middle of my presentation and I want to stop, I can simply hit escape as well. And it'll do the same thing. It'll take me completely out of my presentation mode. So that is Keynote, and just a basic overview and just kind of how to get started. Next week, we're going to look at numbers. And then, like I said, next month, we're going to go into more detail with all of these programs as well. So I hope everyone has a great week.